Hi all, good day. In this session, we will be discussing on the program 8. So this is what your program is about. Develop a PHP program with HTML CSS to keep track of the number of visitors visiting the web page and to display this count of visitors with relevant headings. This is the part A. Part B is develop a PHP program with HTML or CSS to sort the student records which are stored in the database using selection sort. Okay, this is what our eighth program is all about. So before that, before we get into the program, actual program, let's have some overview about this PHP. So this PHP stands for this hypertext preprocessor and it's a server-side scripting language. Okay, primarily used for this web development purpose. One thing what you need to note here is this PHP, it's a server-side scripting language. When we mention it's a server-side scripting, that means the code must be executed on the server part or server side. Okay. When any user requests for this PHP file, for example, this example.php, the server process this PHP code and it will be generating some HTML content. That HTML content is what it will be shared to user. At any given point in time, this PHP code will not be seen to user. It will be taken care by the server and this PHP part will be executed in the server side. Okay. That's what the next point is. The PHP code is processed by the server, but what the user sees in the browser is only the HTML. Okay, HTML content is seen to user on his or her browser. So this is how it works. When user access the page which has this PHP part, okay, the server it runs the PHP code, generates the HTML as output, then it sends this final HTML content to user's browser. Without this server, the PHP code cannot be run and therefore we will not be able to see HTML or we will not be able to get HTML as output. Hence, the user won't be able to see anything. See, when we are having this PHP, right? And this HTML is the one what user will be seeing. Both this PHP and HTML must be on the server side. Okay. This PHP process is done by the server and it will be having the final HTML content which will be sent to user's browser. This is how the PHP code works. When it comes to basic syntax, if when it has to be used within this HTML, we'll be going with this PHP tag. This is what the PHP tag looks. Okay. And we'll be adding our code within this particular start boundary, end boundary. Okay. Like in other programming languages, even in PHP, the end statement says with semicolon. When it comes to variables in PHP, which starts with dollar sign followed by any variable name. And also, you people need not to specify what type of data are we using for this particular variable. Okay. PHP variable do not require a data type as PHP is loosely typed language. What I mean is, see, $age, dollar, as I mentioned in PHP, for all the variables, we'll be starting with dollar. Age is variable name. and the value assigned is 25. So we know it's a integer, but we need not to specify it's an integer data type. Okay, we'll be directly using this dollar age is equal to the value. Similarly, for this dollar price, price is variable name 19.99, which is a float, but we are not mentioning the actual data type. Okay. Next is this echo and print are used to output the data to the browser. These two are used. Okay, either we can go with echo and print. Okay, and command similar to your C programming, single line command, double slash, multi-line command, slash, star, followed by this star slash. When it comes to if condition and looping, if else, see this variable x in this code snippet, if variable x is greater than 5, echo x is greater than 5, else x is less than. These are all very similar to your programming. Only thing is this syntax part and the variable. All the variable starts with dollar. Similarly for this for loop, for I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. So it works similar to your other programming languages. Only way is how we use or the different syntax part you need to make a note. Okay. Okay, this is what the basics about the PHP. So, uh, if we are seeing this, one thing it's clear that we will be using the PHP. So we already have the introduction to PHP and the basics which are required to execute this program and about the PHP as well. So first part, what it is having, develop a PHP program to keep track of number of visitors visiting the web page and to display this count of visitors with relevant heading. Okay, as I mentioned, this PHP is a server-side scripting language, so we must host the code on a server. Okay, for your easy purpose, and I got to know many of you have already used XAMPP in your previous semester to do your mini project on database. So we'll be using with XAMPP. See XAMPP, you can download it from this particular site. If it is for Windows, you can go here and download. Since I am on Windows, I have downloaded it from the same uh, page. Okay. Install the XAMPP. Once the XAMPP, whatever you're downloading here, the setup file, once you have installed the XAMPP, you can go to the C folder, and I recommend you people to select C drive. By default, it will be selected as C drive. Don't modify the drive because in few cases this XAMPP may not work if you are uh, installing it on different drive. I'm not saying it will not work, but in most of the cases it will not work and we need to do a lot more changes. So better to go with C drive, place it on this particular C drive. Once it is successfully installed, you will be able to see entry in C drive by the name XAMPP. Okay, these are the dependencies and the files which are part of this XAMPP. Once XAMPP, once the XAMPP is installed, everything is done, then you'll be landing in this particular page, which has this Apache server and this MySQL for this database. Since the part B part B of your lab program requires database. So we are going with this XAMPP, which has this Apache server as well as this uh, MySQL. So MySQL database will be using it for part B. For now, we will be starting the Apache server. Okay. Now our server is running, up and running. This is how you can start and stop in XAMPP. Most of you have already used this XAMPP and you people already know how to start and stop the server. So let's go to the code part. Okay. In this, what we are doing, see, which is saying uh, to keep track of number of visitors visiting the web page and display the count of visitors with relevant headings. So in simpler, what we will be doing, so this is PHP code as we have discussed in the PPT part. This is a PHP code. In this particular uh, line, we'll be having this counter.txt, which will be having track of total number of visits by the user to a particular web page. Okay, this is a variable name dollar counter file is equal to counter.txt. If file already exists in this particular folder, what it does, if it exists, this if loop will not be executed, because see this negation, if not file exists of counter file, if file is not existing, then it will be creating this counter file, sorry, this counter.txt, and it will be appending the value 0 initial value. See, these are all very basic things which you people will be able to understand easily, but only thing is, when it comes to this PHP, the syntax part and the way we represent it changes, that we have already explained. Okay. If the file is already existing, open the file and increment this counter value by 1. Initially, it will be 0. If user is visiting for the second time, it will open this file. It will increment the value by 1. Once it is updated, write this file and close it. Right? This is what the 8A program. It's very easy program. Okay. Once this part is executed, we have included the HTML also in same file. Okay. This CSS and all. It's very basic. What we are doing, we are just showing this welcome to our website using H1 tag. And within this paragraph tag, this page has been visited. See here, see this code. Here we are using this counter whatever we have executed in the server side with the help of this PHP. Okay, this counter, it will be displayed to this particular HTML page. Okay, this is very easy program and the length is also very less. Okay, and now this is what the code part. Once this coding is done, next go to this, start this, start this Apache server. Next thing, okay, next thing, go to the C, go to XAMPP, next go to this htdocs. See here, there you have created the program, right? I have already moved this folder this folder, it is having the 8th.php, that is this particular file. Along with that, this counter.txt, those two files, what I'll be doing, I'll be moving it into this particular path, htdocs, and here 8. Okay, 8. Let's delete this anyway. That is not required. If it is not there, it will be starting with this particular uh, code itself, right? If it is not there, it will be creating that counter.txt. So anyhow, we have deleted. So now next thing is, once you place this code, once you place that code in that particular part, go to localhost /8. Okay. In that, what is the file name? 8, 8.php, right? Eight folder, 8.php. Okay. See, now go back to this. See, this file got created, right? This file got created, and welcome to our website. This page has been visited one time. If we are refreshing, see this, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. How many times we are visiting this particular page? Those many times it will be displaying here. If you want to cross check this file, see here. Okay. This is what your 8th A program is all about. In the similar lines, the 8th P program, which requires the database, right? Before we run our code to sort the contents, let's see the program again. I mean the question. Develop a PHP program to sort the students' record, which are sorted in database using selection sort. Okay. For this, even for this database, I think most of you have already did a database project in your previous semester. So I think majority, as I mentioned, majority of you already use this XAMPP. So even for this, go to this XAMPP, just start this MySQL, right? Now, to create database and to create table, okay, what we need to do? First, we need to start this MySQL, then go to this particular default path to access this MySQL. Okay, localhost/php myadmin slash. Here, once your people are in this page, just click on this new. Okay, new, create database student DB. Okay, that is the students underscore DB is the database what we are creating. Just click on create. Now you can see here to the left hand side, students underscore DB, the database is created. Now what we need to do, just click on this students underscore DB. Okay. So we will create one database for the students. The database is created. So we'll create the table. Okay. Just go to this SQL. If you are good at this SQL, just copy this, go to this particular option, just paste it. Okay. Just click on go. Now table students is created, which you can see it to the left hand side again. Next, go to the students, go to SQL. The table is created. Sorry, the table is created. We need to add the entries as well, right? So we'll insert into students with all these entries. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 entries are added. Just click on, see here, inserted rows. 10. 10 rows inserted. This is from the database part. Now we have created the database by the name students underscore DB. Inside the students underscore DB database, we have created students table. Okay. Under that students table, we have also added 10 entries, right? Now, now the thing is, go to the database part is completely done. Now we'll go to this uh, coding part. Okay. So this is also a very easy one. So we'll be including this, the PHP, since it involves the database part. Database first has to be connected, right? So first use this. The server name is localhost, username root, password which is empty, default MySQL password for that particular XAMPP MySQL is empty. Okay, and database name whatever we have given there when we create the database. So we have used this students underscore DB, that is the database name. Once it is done, first we need to connect, right? Using this connection variable, that is $con is equal to new MySQL I host name, whatever we have specified there, username, password, and DB name. Okay. If connection is successful, right? If connection is successful, this if uh, line number 12 will be skipped. Okay. If it is having any error, it will be showing the particular error. Okay. Next, we have already created the database. Next, the table is also created. We have also inserted the values. We'll be running SQL query, that is select star from students, because we need to sort. We need to sort students record using selection sort, right? If you want to see the data, whatever we have added, these are the details we have added. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll sort based on their age, based on their age. So what we'll do, students, empty array, right? And this if condition, we have already seen how it works, right? If result of number of rows greater than 0, this row is equal to result of fetch associate, and this dollar students is equal to dollar row. How many number of rows we have inserted, those many number of uh, times this will be added, and it will be added to this dollar students. Okay. Once that particular part is done, go to line number 28. Do this selection sort. You people already know how this selection sort works, right? First, it will be in starting with this minimum index as 0th index, and that within that for loop, it will be checking for this j, that is the next value. It will be comparing if the 0th index value is uh, greater than this second element, so it will be swapped between this first and second. I need not explain about this selection sort program. You people already know, right? Okay. Once this particular PHP, this sorting is done. This will be closing the database connection. Next, it will go to this HTML code and it will be displaying whatever it is sorted using the table, the second program, whatever we have already discussed. Using this table, TD, that is data for this row, it will be displayed on the browser. Okay. Only thing is when you people are executing the second, sorry, 8B, you need to start both Apache and MySQL. Okay. Once this part, these initial steps are done, similarly, how you have included under this HT docs, even this B include that program under this particular path. So I have moved or I have created the file inside this 8. This is for 8A and B, this is for 8B. So we'll go to our browser. Okay. Next, localhost. See, 8B stds.php, right? See, okay. So you can see here, the sorting part, it is already executed in the server side and it will be just displaying whatever the sorted value on the browser. Okay. We will just change this with greater than. Now just refresh. See, descending order. Okay. And uh, okay. Okay. This is what your 8B program is all about. Okay. Thank you.